Hello everyone and welcome to this Ring of Honor wrap-up for January 25th and 26th of 2008. Ring of Honor has had their third and fourth shows of the year this past weekend, the 25th in Dayton and the 26th in Chicago. So let's start with the 25th in Dayton. Our opening match, Jay and Mark Briscoe beat Jigsaw and Matt Cross when Jay pinned Cross following a Jay Driller. This was originally supposed to be Jigsaw and Ruckus, but Ruckus missed the show, and it's been reported that he had a serious illness, and he missed this weekend. So best wishes go out to him. The Briscoes getting back on the winning track. Not much to say, really. We moved on to Claudio Castagnoli beating Adam Pearce with the Ricola Bomb. We moved on to Eric Stevens successfully defending his FIP World Heavyweight title over Davey Richards and Austin Aries. Austin Aries still refused to shake hands. Fourth match, Hangman 3 of BJ Whitmer, Brent Albright beat Delirious and El Generico in a no disqualification match. Albright kneed Generico into submission. Said to be an insane match. Back from intermission, Daisy Hayes over Lacey with a roll-up. And then probably the big story of the weekend, or the second biggest story, of the Age of the Fall reveal, Joey Matthews, better known as Joey Mercury in the WWE, as their mystery partner for the night, in which Roderick Strong and Rocky Romero beat Jimmy Jacobs and Joey Matthews when Strong made Jacobs tap out. Post-match, Tyler Black called out Bryan Danielson, and they had a 25-minute plus match. Black hit a Phoenix Splash, but Danielson was able to take the splash momentum and roll it through for the pin. This was said to be really good, match of the year contender. The reports saying that it was a really great match. Had a brief intermission to set up the steel cage. And in the main event, Nigel McGuinness retained the Ring of Honor World title over Chris Hero in a steel cage match. At one point, Bobby Dempsey inadvertently smashed Hero with the cage door. And afterwards, Sweet and Sour Inc. beat down Bobby Dempsey. But overall, this show had the big story with Joey Mercury coming to Ring of Honor. You have to argue maybe the decision to have him lose in his first match, with Jimmy Jacobs, Roderick Strong, Rocky Romero beat Jimmy Jacobs and himself. But I never really got a good feel for how he was as a performer in the WWE. Obviously, he's known for that ladder spot at Armageddon 2006 that completely busted up his face. But it's good. It was definitely a surprise. I know some people called it, but to me, it was a surprise, and we'll see what he can do. It's always great to hear Danielson. Like this news with Danielson and Black having a great match, over 25 minutes. That's why you gotta love Ring of Honor, because, Tyler Black, they're willing to, give him a match with Danielson and make him look like a star, in losing. But, reports are saying that was a really, really good match. And obviously the big happening in the main event with Dempsey finally, I don't know, maybe we're starting the turn here with Dempsey. Maybe, he's causing some friction. Ultimately, I think we'll have to see how that comes out off on DVD, as with a lot of the show. But overall, I think the show looks really pretty good. It looks solid. Obviously, Danielson and Black looks like it's a must-see match. McGuinness and Hero. And I think that the cage match actually benefited Hero. As far as what with that nagging leg injury, it kind of that's kind of weird to say that the cage match would help the injury, but he couldn't really do more of the athletic stuff. It was kind of just like him in the cage, and the more hardcore elements kind of go easier on the knee, I think, than if they wrestled like a straight up match. So we'll definitely see how it comes off on DVD, but the results are looking good. Again, kind of questionable having Joey Matthews lose his first match, but we'll see how that comes off. So we moved on to last night in Chicago. In our opener, Austin Aries and Bryan Danielson beat Jay Briscoe and Eric Stevens to advance to Ultimate Endurance when Danielson pinned Jay with a small package. And a funny note, Danielson bowed to Aries after the match since he still refuses to shake hands. Shane Hagedorn beat Pele Primo. Chris Hero and Salvador Rey wrestled 2 matches, first beating Alex Payne and Cal Durden, and then defeating Jigsaw and Daisy Hayes. The Intergender World Tag Team titles were not defended in these matches. We moved on to Claudio Castagnoli and El Generico wrestling in a 20-minute draw from a rematch from Race to the Top. Mark Briscoe defeats Joey Matthews with his shooting star press. In what looks like to be the blow-off, Delirious defeats Adam Pearce in a dog collar match with a big splash through a table. We moved on to our World Tag Team title, Ultimate Endurance. And we actually have new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Davey Richards and Rocky Romero defeated the Age of the Fall, the Hangman 3, and Danielson Aries to become the new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Richards eliminated Black in the scramble portion. Danielson beat BJ in the I Quit portion, and Davey Richards finally eliminates Austin Aries to win the belts. And the main event, Nigel McGuinness beat Roderick Strong in a little under half an hour with the Jawbreaker Lariat, very hard hitting. Strong destroyed Nigel's back. And that was the 26th. Obviously, the big story of this weekend, besides Joey Matthews coming to Ring of Honor, is we have new tag team champions. And, this, I think, in my opinion, was a good move. I think the Age of the Fall, it was right for them to take the belts off the Briscoes. But right now, I don't think they need the belts. I think this is a nice way to kind of mix it up in the tag team division. I mean, obviously we're going to have to see how this comes off on DVD, like I usually say that. But I think, Age of the Fall retained in a scramble match already. And, realistically, I mean, scramble matches, these Ultimate Endurance matches are really supposed to be unpredictable. I mean, winning an Ultimate, with 3 other teams in there, obviously it's going to be kind of tough to retain. And, the whole storyline with the odds being stacked against the Age of the Fall, it kind of came off here. And I don't mind Richards and Romero's tag champions. I think, they'll do good. I mean, the aftershot of them with belts, look pretty kick-ass. And so we'll see how that goes. McGuinness defeating Strong seemed like one of those matches, kind of like that may be forgotten. But I'm not really sure. And the other big story coming off of Chicago is that Austin Aries and Danielson teaming up, actually beating Briscoe and Stevens, and then making it to the finals of Ultimate Endurance. We'll see where that goes in the coming months. But yeah, overall this weekend, it kind of came off from the reports that Friday's show in Dayton came off as the better show as far as wrestling wise. But obviously, in the Chicago show, you have a tag team title change. And, major happenings this weekend. We have, new tag team champions. And looking forward into Ring of Honor, obviously in February, I believe the 23rd, I'm going to say, Ring of Honor's 6th anniversary show featuring Bryan Danielson challenging for the Ring of Honor World title against Nigel McGuinness. So that should definitely be interesting. Plus, we have Go Shiozaki's a Ring of Honor American debut. So definitely some interesting happenings, and that seems pretty good. Also, it was announced on Saturday that Kota Ibushi, don't even think I know how to pronounce that, will be wrestling next time in Chicago. I really don't have any knowledge on him. So maybe someone else can fill you guys in. But, okay, that'll do it for this Ring of Honor wrap-up. I'll be trying to make probably another video, maybe on the Royal Rumble, or TNA, or whatever's happening in the Big Two. But, of course, I'll be here with the next Ring of Honor wrap-up following February shows. So, yeah, take care. Ruckus, let's wish him a speedy recovery. Same with Jack Evans, who's been shelved. And, so we can get the Vulture Squad back together. Alright, thanks guys for listening.